Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me, itsojp, to destroy this glory hunter debate once and for all. I'm going to split this video into segments, right? So we're going to go why I support PSG and my sort of football in personal life. We're going to go with English football fan bias, and then kind of just a whole overall review of this whole debate that's kind of forced and created by English fans. So I'll give you a run through of it. I'll show you some stuff on TikTok, some comments from English fans to kind of back up my claim. And I'll be starting also by watching a video of mine that seems to have not got as many views because I seem to have just ended the debate. And even in the comments, you've got a couple of people that are like, oh, he's actually made a point. So, just as a quick bit of insight, I started supporting PSG in 2019. I was a Newcastle fan. I live absolutely nowhere near Newcastle. It's about a 6 or 7 hour drive, so it's nowhere near. And I just decided to start supporting PSG. I started watching games. I gradually grew love for the club, and then eventually I just made that change for the 1920 season. And the reason I made that change was because, as I said, I've not been going to Newcastle games since I was a child. I don't live near any Newcastle fans. I never met any Newcastle fans. Literally, it was me and my dad as Newcastle fans. There's literally no one else like that supports anywhere near where I live. So there's no connection for me, right? I get it with PSG as well, that I've got no connection with the club, but that's sort of why I've built this up. I've enjoyed my years of supporting PSG as being, people say it's an armchair fan, but I think when there's passion for the club and you're enjoying watching the games and you're getting really emotional and you're on this roller coaster with the team, it's more, it means more to you. So this year, obviously, I started making my content as an English PSG fan. I knew it'd be niche because I knew people would have a lot to say about it, which the proof's in the pudding. I mean, they are literally, talking about it left, right, and centre, right? But it's good because I've also been able to link up with a lot of PSG fans as well. So now I know loads of English PSG fans. I know a PSG fan from Wales, Lithuania, what other countries? Germany, I think. One from Spain, I believe. It's quite an interesting one. So yeah, I know, this from all over the world. In terms of English football bias, the kind of thing in England is you support your dad's team or you support your local team, right? What I don't understand about this is where I live in the area I grew up around, right? So my dad's team's obviously Newcastle. I've kind of just explained that, so go back and rewind and watch if you need to take another listen. But my local club is a semi-professional team, seventh tier, by the way, right? So they're a seventh tier team, and I just think like you're not going to live your whole life only supporting semi-pro football. And people might think, well, you've got no love for the club then. Well, no, because where I live, nobody, not that I know of, nobody solely supports that one semi-pro team that lives near me. They support, their Premier League, Championship, League One or League Two team, right? A professional team. And the thing that's even more crazy is people talk about support your local. My most local professional football team is probably Gillingham, right? Because where I live, I think they're like one of the only professional teams. Yeah, I don't know a single Gillingham fan. I do not know a single one. It is insane. Like people are like, oh, you got to support your local, support your dad's team. I'm literally going to be a quote unquote glory hunter, regardless of what they say. So, anyways, I decided to whip up some stats for Premier League fans, considering they wanted to talk about glory hunting as such. And it's in my most recent video, so we're going to quickly run through this. We've got this video here. So, people were talking about how I said we a lot. And referring to the PSG fans, even though I'm English, and I think I've got the right to. The PSG fans respect me, and I wouldn't be saying that because I have got lovely messages from PSG fans saying that they love how someone from England supports them and they like how I'm a voice for them. And I'm not even just saying that; these are genuine things that I've been told.
I think it's time to make a video about this. I'm seeing loads of
I just
in the
decided to
PSG.
whip up some stats because I was like, fuck it, why not? So
Because I couldn't find
I go to ChatGPT and I say how much percentage of Premier League fans are from other countries.
the research on the internet myself. So I've got
This,
0.9
Premier
billion
League is
people
followed by an estimated
globally.
1.9 billion people globally, right? So that's in that 189 plus countries that they stream in, right? In the UK, this is the crazy part. 33 to 34 million people in England, in the UK, watch Premier League matches, right? Wow. So less than 5% of Premier League fans are even from England. So these people aren't supporting their local. These people aren't supporting, you know, their dad's team necessarily. So what is their excuse? Here's what their excuse is, and I did make a video about this, but I don't think I'll go to it. Hang on. Was this the one? Well, yes, but your country has the biggest football league in the world. Those countries who follow English teams don't have that. And this is so flawed. The reason teams have global fan bases is because the countries where they're from don't have established football leagues. Two answers to that. A, they can establish their own football if they care about it so much in the country, which some of these countries clearly do. And B, so you're saying if a person from a country doesn't like the football that's being played in their country, they should be allowed to come and show their support to the Premier League. This is funny. One of my reasons for being a PSG fan that I've mentioned on numerous occasions is that I prefer the Liga and style of football. I'm not saying the Premier League's not a better league, because the Premier League is the most fast-paced league in the world in terms of how quick the players move the ball about. But for me, I find it so robotic that I prefer to watch the League and where the games are a bit more opened up, and it's a bit more like watching classical football like the way it used to be. Obviously not with VAR, but in terms of how many shots you can get away, how many chances you actually get, how many end-to-end games you get, right? So that's that. But when an English person does it, this is what I'm trying to get at, right? I live in England. I support PSG. People go, glory hunter, plastic fan, whatever. If I'm from Lithuania, they are like, oh, okay, your football's not good enough, so support PSG. We don't have a problem with it. It makes literally no sense. It literally makes no sense. And I wouldn't be shocked if you're confused watching this video right now, because there's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. You want me to support a Premier League club, and it's funny because the people that support these Premier League clubs, the Arsenal, the Chelsea, the Man City, the Liverpool, and the Man United, just every team in the Prem, look at how many global fans you have. Look at how much global fans do for football. Now, some clubs are bought into a lot of money by Saudi owners, Qatar owners, etc. Even just wealthy people in general, right? But for the clubs that aren't, the slightly smaller clubs, the clubs that don't have the richest owners in the world, look at how much you're making off of the media and the streaming of these games in other countries. And you want to talk to me about, oh, but, you've got to support a Premier League team. So if I support a Premier League team from France, if I lived in France, basically, if the cards were flipped, if I lived in Paris and I was supporting Arsenal, nobody would have a problem. So it's just English football fan bias, because the English fans, they just want all the money and all the streaming rights and everyone to just love their football so much. Yes, England have got the best football in the world, but it's not my style of football. I don't like watching that type of football all the time. I like watching the bigger games, but when the bigger games aren't on and you get a static game between Arsenal and Burnley, like last night, you gotta look at yourself and think, is that all I want to watch each week? Especially for Arsenal fans. I mean, sometimes Arsenal fans must find their game so boring because, you wait for a week to watch your team play, and when it comes to a PSG match day, I'm excited. I'm ready to watch the game, right? Why would you want to wait a week to see a static 1-0 win that came from a corner? Do you know what I mean? And this happens with a lot of Premier League teams. It just feels like very static football. Like, it's fast paced, but it's static. It's hard to explain. It's robotic. It feels like ever since Pep came in with his stunning tactics, obviously led Man City into all of their glory, it feels like football's just changed a lot. And I think it's insane. Like, obviously, the comments about bro at a baguette once, etc. That doesn't matter to me, right? But it's when people are trying to say about Glory Hunter. And on the flip side of Glory Hunter, if you think a Glory Hunter is somebody that supports a team because of their success, go back to the start of the video. I literally say, when I started supporting, PSG were a laughing stock. People were like, PSG would never win a Champions League. People would probably bet all of their life savings that PSG were not going to win the Champions League. Literally, everyone seemed to think that we just always came so close, and it was literally impossible because of our league, because of the teams we had to, prepare ourselves against in the league. And there's so many other factors that play into it, and people seem to think that it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what more to explain. if you're talking about the premises I support the club off of, it's because I'm literally, well, A, I'm closer, B, I genuinely love the club. And these guys all whack on about passion and all this other stuff. They should see some of the reactions I've had to games. I have literally been through all the emotions. Not not the relegation, not being the absolute down and out, because that's never going to happen with a club like PSG. But in terms of being laughed at, being told, and this was last season, by the way, start of last season, being told Saka's better than Dembele, being told Vitinha's not a world class player. All these things infuriate you inside, but it's how you bounce back from it. And it's also, it's funny because if PSG were a failing side, people just wouldn't mention it at all. Like, it's weird. It's weird. And according to their logic as well, if I'm from England and I support Go Ahead Eagles in Netherlands, right? I'm not a glory hunter. No, sorry, I am a glory hunter by their definition. A glory hunter of a team that wins nothing. And if you want to talk about, oh, you're a glory hunter because you support a team that wins the league each year, well, you need to remember that's the one you call a farmers league. That's the league you call a farmers league. So look, you got to look at it from your perspective. If your Arsenal, your Man United, your Man City, your Chelsea were in the league and they won it, would you care? Would you care? Is that glory to you? And they would probably say yes in that scenario because I've outsmarted them by that point. So it's just incredible. And the stats speak for themselves. So yeah, I just find it really interesting. But yeah, guys, that's basically me addressing the glory hunter debate. English football fan bias is insane, so I'm glad the people from other countries that support PSG have got my back in this situation, and it's interesting to see what's going to come of this. Anyways, guys, I've been itsojp. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, follow if you're on TikTok, and I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye.